2020 to 2021 Peacemaker Assembly. Today is going to be an awesome day. All of our classes have shared their contributions through song, dance, presentations, and music to celebrate the history and legacy of African Americans while celebrating Black joy and Black excellence. This is a special assembly for our school because we'll also be celebrating the amazing peacemakers within our community. Our community is filled with amazing individuals, and we are so lucky to be able to celebrate these peacemakers today. Leaders in our community, students and staff who have stepped up to the plate, who have shown us what true leadership looks like through compassion, care, and kindness. I hope you enjoyed today's assembly and that you enjoy the amazing work of our students. After each class presents their contributions for today's Peacemaker Assembly, we will honor their class Peacemaker recipients. Let's kick things off with our preschoolers. Our preschool is here to show us what it means to be a leader. Luna has grown into a smart and outgoing young girl. She has improved academically and socially a lot since last year. I'm so proud to have the honor to teach such an enthusiastic girl. Tito Luani is always ready to learn. He brings smiles and great conversations to our class. Tito Luani is a great classmate and big brother. He makes our classroom a better place.
Our first graders are going to say what they dream to be when they grow up.
Mae Jemison was the first Black woman to fly to space. Her mom always told her, if you dream it, if you believe in it, if you work hard for it, anything is possible. My dream is to be a hockey player. My dream is to be a singer. My dream is to be a teacher. My dream is to be a police officer. My dream is to be super smart. My dream is to be a gamer. My dream is to be a teacher. My dream is to be a police officer. My dream is to be an artist. My dream is to be a police officer. My dream is to be a firefighter. My dream is to be in the military. Yes. My dream is to be an artist. My dream is to be a teacher. My dream is to be a superhero. My dream is to be an astronaut. My dream is to be a special agent. My dream is to be a builder. My dream is to be a police officer. My dream is to be a spy. My dream is to be a seller. My dream is to be a singer. My dream is to be an astronaut. My dream is to be a vet. My dream is to be a YouTuber. My dream is to go to space. I have a dream of being a paletero. My dream is to be a police. My dream is to be a singer. My dream to be is to be a Pokemon master. My dream is to be a artist and a vet. My dream is to be a famous Mexican singer. My wish is to be a firefighter. My dream is to be a mechanic, like my dad. My dream is to be a police. When I grow up, my dream is to be a chef. My dream is to be an engineer. My dream is to be a spy. My dream is to be a doctor. My dream is to be Arius. My dream is to be a teacher. My dream is to be an accountant.
Mateo is an all-around awesome student. He is always positive, encourages others, and strives to do his best.
Jamie is a very kind student and is always excited to learn. She makes others around her happy by her positive and friendly attitude. She greets us all with a sweet smile every day.
Did you know that Ruby Bridges was just 6 years old when she first took those steps into an integrated school? Our kindergartners have been learning a lot about Ruby Bridges, and Miss Marlowe's class, Mr. Laksamana's class, and Mr. Zeke's class are here to share with you a little bit more about the legacy of Ruby Bridges as well as a song in her honor.
Well, being 6 and not really understanding what was going on at the time during the civil rights movement, my parents didn't explain anything to me. I always say to people that it would be really, really hard to explain to a 6-year-old child what I was about to encounter going to school that day. So the only thing that they said to me is that you are going to go to a new school and you better behave. And that was the extent of it. So I had absolutely no idea what was happening at the time. I began to realize how important my walk through those doors back in 1960 was in probably about the 80s. I was, I believe, 17 or 18 years old when I was asked to do an interview, and the reporter showed me a copy of the Norman Rockwell painting. Even though I was accustomed to looking at old magazines and Eyes on the Prize and seeing all that footage, I understood that it was important, but it didn't really hit me until I saw the Norman Rockwell painting. And I realized that it wasn't something that just happened in New Orleans, but it was something that people all across the country, all across the world actually recognized, especially through the painting. And I always say that the lesson I took away was a lesson that Dr. King tried to teach all of us. And that was that we should never look at a person and judge them by the color of their skin. That is the lesson that I learned in that classroom at 6 years old, simply because I crossed a picket line, a mob every day for a whole year. They were all white, screaming, yelling, threatening to harm me. And yet every day when I entered the building, there was a woman there to greet me, and she was also white. And I remember not really knowing what to expect from her, if she was going to be exactly like the people outside. But she did everything she could to make my day filled with fun. And I loved learning. She not only taught me, but she read stories to me. We played games and we did music and everything, to the point that I never missed a day that whole year. I knew that if I got past the mob and inside of the building, I was going to have a great day. And it was because of her. So she showed me her heart. And I began to realize that there was no way she was like the people outside. I couldn't judge her the same way. And so I believe at that moment, I learned the lesson that Dr. King died trying to teach us. And that is, as I said, you cannot look at a person and judge them by the color of their skin. That shaped me into who I am today.
Everywhere I go, even when I'm afraid, I'm gonna let it shine. Even when I'm afraid, I'm gonna let it shine. Even when I'm afraid, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine. This light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it
Jackson is always looking out for others and cares very deeply about how they feel. He's extremely polite and friendly. Such a wonderful boy.
Callie's kind-heartedness and love of learning brings so much positive energy to our Zoom room each and every day. Callie is an amazing girl.
Tiffany joined our class a little late in the school year and immediately made a huge contribution to our class. Every day she comes to class ready to participate and learn. Tiffany's sunny, cheerful disposition makes her a perfect candidate for our 2020-2021 Peacemaker Award recipient. Keep up the good work, Tiff.
Students in Miss Tellis's class, Miss Slade's class, and Miss Friedel's class have been so inspired by the leaders and legends that they've been studying. They have a little game for you to see if you can guess who they're talking about.
Jayla is a motivated, organized, and kind girl. She always has a positive attitude and is helpful to the other students in her class. Her positive attitude and enjoyment of school make her the ultimate peace builder.
Torin is a very kind and responsible girl. She always has a positive attitude about learning and contributes to our class discussions.
Gavin always has a positive attitude. I appreciate how he is able to find the silver lining in tough situations. He is a friend to everyone in class. He is a strong leader in breakout rooms and ensures equity of voice.
The third graders are going to dance to the song of respect.
Aaron is a natural leader. He is assertive and always sets a great example by trying his best. He never gives up, even if the work is challenging. Aaron has blown my mind with his academic accomplishments this year as well. I can't wait to see Aaron's future endeavors and how he'll be an excellent leader for our country.
Anne-Marie is very friendly, agreeable, cooperative, hardworking. She is very trusting and helpful during our online Zooms. She's always willing to go above and beyond.
Kaylee is always such a positive presence in our classroom. She has a great attitude and is always so caring to others. She is always willing to help others in any way that she can. Kaylee always has a positive attitude and tries her hardest every day.
Baseball season is right around the corner. Inspired by the Negro National League, our 6th graders are here to share with you a presentation about some famous baseball players in history.
Every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring, ring with the harmony of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise. sound loud as the rolling sea. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Facing a rising sun of a new day begun. Let us march on till victory is won. Let us march on till victory is won. Let us march on to victory.
There are forces that want to take us back to another place. We don't want to go back. We want to go forward.
Adrian is a kind and helpful person. He is a hardworking student and enjoys sharing his knowledge with his peers. One of the things I really enjoy about his character is that he's always willing to help and support others. Thank you, Adrian, for always being a peacemaker.
And Damien, you are definitely a peacemaker. Damien always looks out for others. He has a helpful and kind attitude that extends to his family and classmates.
Our 4th and 5th graders created an artwork inspired by the Fury Flight.
When day comes, we ask ourselves, where can we find light in this never-ending shade?
The loss we carry, a sea we must wade.
We've braved the belly of the beast. We've learned that quiet isn't always peace, and the norms and notions of what just isn't always justice.
And yet the dawn is ours before we knew it. Somehow we do it.
Somehow we've weathered and witnessed a nation that isn't broken, but simply unfinished.
We, the successors of a country and a time where a skinny black girl descended from slaves and raised by a single mother can dream of becoming president, only to find herself reciting for one. And yes, we are far from polished, far from pristine, but that doesn't mean we are striving to form a union that is perfect. We are striving to forge our union with purpose, to compose a country committed to all cultures, colors, characters, and conditions of man.
And so we lift our gaze not to what stands between us, but what stands before us.
We close the divide because we know to put our future first. We must first put our differences aside. We lay down our arms so we can reach out our arms to one another. We seek harm to none and harmony for all. Let the globe, if nothing else, say this is true. That even as we grieved, we grew. That even as we hurt, we hoped. That even as we tired, we tried. That we'll forever be tied together, victorious. Not because we will never again know defeat, but because we will never again sow division.
Scripture tells us to envision that everyone shall sit under their own vine and fig tree, and no one shall make them afraid.
If we're to live up to our own time, then victory won't lie in the blade, but in all the bridges we've made. That is the promised glade, the hill we climb, if only we dare it.
Because being an American is more than pride. We inherit. It's the past we step into and how we repair it. We've seen a force that will shatter our nation rather than share it.
Would destroy our country if it meant delaying democracy.
And this effort very nearly succeeded.
But while democracy can be periodically delayed, it can never be permanently defeated.
In this truth, in this faith we trust, for while we have our eyes on the future, history has its eyes on us.
This is the era of just redemption. We feared at its inception.
We did not feel prepared to be the heirs of such a terrifying hour, but within it we found the power to author a new chapter, to offer hope and laughter to ourselves.
So while once we ask, how could we possibly prevail over catastrophe?
Now we assert, how could catastrophe possibly prevail over us?
We will not march back to what was, but move to what shall be. A country that is bruised, but whole, kind, but bold, fierce and free.
We will not be turned around or interrupted by intimidation because we know our inaction and inertia will be inheritance of the next generation.
Our blunders become their burdens.
But one thing is certain. If we merge mercy with might and might with right, then love becomes our legacy and change our children's birthright.
So let us leave behind a country better than the one we were left.
With every breath from my bronze-pounded chest, we will raise this wounded world into a wondrous one.
We will rise from the gold-limbed hills of the west. We will rise from the wind-swept northeast,
where our forefathers first realized revolution.
We will rise from the lake-rimmed cities of the Midwestern states.
We will rise from the sun-baked south. We will rebuild, reconcile, and recover.
In every known nook of our nation, in every corner called our country, our people diverse and beautiful will emerge, battered and beautiful. When the day comes, we step out of the shade, aflame and unafraid. The new dawn blooms as we free it.
For there is always light, if only we're brave enough to see it, if only we're brave enough to be it.
Gilberto shows great leadership and an eagerness to help others in need. He is always ready to volunteer or assist others with our learning, and I'm so impressed with his cooperative nature and problem-solving and can-do attitude.
Kamaya has a beautiful mind, but her social-emotional intelligence really lifts us all up. In all of her thoughtful Flipgrid videos, she directly addresses the class and challenges us to spread kindness, keep in tune with our emotions, and be the light.
Rihanna's kind-heartedness and sense of humor motivates others every day. Her positive attitude and willingness to not only learn new things, but to assist her peers in growing and developing makes her Zoom meetings just a bit brighter.
Ezekiel is a ray of sunshine in our class. He is polite, kind, and helpful. Every day he shows up to engage and learn. It is a joy to work with this wonderful peacemaker.
Alessandra is kind, helpful, and responsible. She always has a positive attitude and always puts forth her best effort.
Last last but not least, we love to celebrate our 2 staff recipients for this year's Peacemaker Award. Miss Becky means everything to our families and our staff. She creates meaningful relationships and has developed such a deep sense of trust with our families and our staff. She has been a consistent, reliable, and dedicated member of the LGAE team, and we are so grateful to have her as a peacemaker in our community. Mrs. Chasen is the true definition of selfless service, compassion, and care. This year, she has been the driving force behind organizing and putting together all student supplies, while also being a friendly face to share a story with students in class. Mrs. Chasen brings a sense of peace and calm to every space she enters and is truly a model of caring leadership. Congratulations to all of our peacemakers. We are so lucky to have you as a part of our community. Being a peacemaker isn't easy. It means leading by example, being courageous when things are difficult or hard, and working hard to create unity and love. Our peacemakers demonstrate kindness, demonstrate resilience, and demonstrate a fight towards doing what is right. And we are so, so proud of you.